pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of Race 1 of the TMP Championship Series, live from the Ontario Motor Speedway here in sunny, beautiful Ontario, California. We're so glad you're joining us here tonight on JTN. As always, my name is Joe Twansky. Up here in the booth tonight, of course, with our producer, Bristol the Dog, the best dog producer in all of esports and motorsports broadcasting, for, again, race number 1 of this TMP Championship Series. Of course, the TMP Racing Series comprises of the Summer Cup Series, the Super Truck Series, and then the Winter Cup Series. Those 3 seasons have all come to a conclusion, and now we have our 12 drivers that will vie for a championship with one wildcard driver to be decided off of points. It's going to be a fun time here tonight as we try to at least whittle down the field just a little bit here in California. 2 drivers will be eliminated after tonight's race from contention in that championship, albeit they'll still have the opportunity to get one of the wild card spot that'll be available for Michigan in 3 weeks' time. We're, of course, going to be live with you the next 3, and then tonight, 4 Wednesday evenings for TMP Championship Series action. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this TMP Championship Series presented by Josh's Eggs and TM Productions. All right. Of course, tonight at Ontario, so it's a little familiar for a lot of folks out there. Track that was made to be a replica of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, albeit a couple of drivers talking about it being wider. Looks a little narrower. Looks like the short chutes are a little bit shorter. The long chutes are a little bit longer. The corners look a little bit wider. My goodness, this front stretch is super wide down there into turn 1, but going to be a fun time of racing action. Drivers having to use the access lane. There's all kinds of great rules here for the Championship Series as well, with tire limits for these drivers, as we saw instituted in various TMP Racing League series to help with competition balance. She got a big crash there. Get those out of the way now here in practice, at the least. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun night of 60 laps of racing action around this 2.5 mile speedway here out in California. Nice and clear, sunny skies. Know there's a lot of folks in the Midwest going through some storms, so sending all of you some well wishes. Hopefully no one is adversely affected by those storms. And yeah, we're just going to have a fun time tonight, folks. We're just going to have a fun time tonight. You don't have fun, well, then maybe you can't win. You only get to win if you have fun. Of course, drivers all racing with their familiar numbers on the sides of their race cars here this evening and throughout this season, unlike last year's IROC series. Ann and Barbara in chat, welcome, welcome. I'm in there in the 33. There's these Firebirds. Trans Am's out here. Oh. I'm a little partial to the Dodge Daytona as the IROC car, but, you know. All about personal preference. Johnson there in the number 49. It's got teal for his color. Tom Musa going with the black and white. Gold, of course. Josh Boyer with the royal blue. Green, of course, Tom Goodman. Yellow, John Wall. Yellowish gold. Orange there is Brian B. Steve Rubino's got the magenta on that 07 car. There you see him. Red is the 24 of Air Viper. Vipers. Go with Viper. Lighter blue for the 61 of RC Jordan. There's Dog Palmer back on track in the 108. Woof, woof, woof. Got the Menards yellow there on that car. You're about the Menards yellow. Maybe a little bit darker. Hopefully he'll be saving some big money. We drove there in the number 12. Another blue car. There's a couple blue cars. We're gonna have our work cut out for us here tonight. Ah, goodness. Just waiting for qualifying to begin here, folks. We're just waiting to get everyone set away, squared away. As always, though, can't thank you enough for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe. We're mere minutes away from racing here on JTN. First, want to also send out our congratulations to Tom Musa, who won last week at Atlanta. And send out our apologies for our camera trucks not being sent to the track in time for us to broadcast. I'm trying to get some draft laps in them too. Everyone around that 50.5-second mark. They're about 10th. It's a pretty big spread. Fastest lap is a 49.5. Qualifying begins.
Drivers, to your car.
Drivers being called to their cars to lay down a fast lap. Gives us some time to catch up a little bit. What's everyone else been up to? Been me personally, thanks for asking. Been kept the nose to the grindstone, you know? But life's going for old Joe Toe in Bristol, of course. Enjoying the weather, hopefully starting to turn a little bit warmer. Hope everyone else out there is able to enjoy it after this round of severe weather that's kind of gone from north to south of the United States. First time there on the board, a 50.218 second lap time by way of Tom Musa. John Wall just put up a 49.8. Took a streak to the top of the board. Rich Napick with another 52.2, 52.7 for Goodman. So a rather large spread. Of times for all of these drivers so far here to start qualifying. 12 drivers that are locked in for the championship. John Wall in the number 0, the 4 of Tom Musa, the 6 of Rich Knappich, the 07 of Steve Rubino, the 12 of Jim Windrow, Viper in the 24, Fast Cows in the 33, Irv Johnston in the number 49, Roger Nebelsick in the 51, Daryl Johnston in the 86, the 910 of Jamie Tedder, and Josh Chu was given this in the 85, was given the spot of the number 67 of Brian B. Swinger. Brian B. going to be here tonight racing, but did give up his spot before the race. In-game cautions, 2 laps for those cautions. Lucky Dog until 10 laps to go, along with the waiver round. Drivers not allowed to race back until 10 laps to go. And, of course, our Winter Cup Series champion, Rich Knappich, part of that Championship 12. Won a feature last week at Atlanta as well. Jamie Tedder and Josh Boyer with 4 features apiece. John Wall with the most feature wins this season at 14, heading into the championship. Racing weeks. So, qualifying in the books, take you through tonight's starting lineup. John Wall in the 0 will start on pole, with Josh Boyer in the 41 to his outside. Viper and Roger Nebelsick, 24 and 51, will roll off in row number 2. Row 3 is the 9-10 of Jamie Tedder and the 4 of Tom Musa. Row 4 is the 6 of Rich Knappich and the 85 of Josh Chu. Tom Goodman and Brian Baswinger in the 33 and 67 start in row number 5. Row 6 tonight, the 44 of Dan Rubino and the 12 of Jim Windrow. Steve Rubino in the 07 and Dick Jordan in the 61 roll off in row number 7. Daryl Johnston and Irv Johnston roll off in row number 8. Bob Sire, John Palmer, and Rod Weston did not... Bob Sire and John Palmer make up row number 9, and Rod Weston did not take a time in qualifying. He'll start shotgun on the field in the number 19 position in car number 31. 19 drivers here tonight from Ontario. Be fun. You got a drag strip here on the entry end of pit lane. Grandstands carved into the hills here along the front straightaway. It's like a Great Valley version of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Nothing beats that yard of bricks, but we'll be able to have something that's at least a little close here tonight for you fans out there in YouTube land. Pontiac Firebirds, man. Oh, Pontiac, the good old days. Bring it back. Bring back Pontiac. General Motors, if you're out there watching, maybe you are. It's probably the late night there at the Renaissance Center, downtown Detroit. Bring Bring back Pontiac as your electric brand. It makes so much sense. All you gotta do is slap a different badge on that Chevy Blazer EV. That's it. Make a Firebird EV. Actually, don't make a Firebird EV. That would probably make a Trans Am EV. There you go. Or a Grand Prix EV. Make cool cars again. All I'm asking. Asking US OEMs to make good cars. Anyways, enough of that. Dan Rubino going to be the first one out on track in the number 44. Maybe not. We're going to get the opportunity. Check where their pit signs and boxes are. 5-minute happy hour. And you're out there in the 12. We're getting a pit party to start. There we go. Cars out on track for happy hour. Let's scramble to get those last few laps in. For tonight's race. We are ready to go racing, folks. Cars will get lined up here on the grid behind our pace car.
To your cars.
And we await the command to get engines fired from Ontario in front of a sold-out grandstand. Oh, it's going to be a fun night of racing here on JTN.
Drivers, start your engines!
As there's command and the field rolls off. And it'll be John Wall rolling off from the pole position here tonight in that number 0. Most feature wins out of all drivers. Going to be one great night of racing action. Again, 20 laps or so on a tank of fuel. Kind of puts us to where this will be a 2-stop race. Would hope that this thing runs green, but as the saying goes, what we hope for and what we get often are two different things. These drivers are going to put on a show here tonight. Everyone looking to hopefully, out of those 12 championship drivers, they're all hoping to not be in the bottom 3 at night's end. For all the other drivers, it's about collecting points here to try to secure a wild card spot in the championship finale at Michigan in 3 weeks' time. John Wall, though, right now rolls off from the pole position. Josh Blair to his outside. Fans here on their feet. Sit back, relax, as the green flag is in the air and we are underway in the 2025 TMP Championship Series. Good jump by Wall out in front, gets him the lead. Viper there in second, gonna also pull through. Tedder in the 910, that's some SMO guys. 1, 2, 3 here, off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. One around there on the apron, all by his lonesome. So we learned the car is with you at home. That appears to be a generic one. Makes their way off a turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Everyone getting in line. The draft going to play a crucial role in tonight's race. But it's Wall out in front of the field for the time being. See the Johnstons battling here down the back straightaway. Right serve trying to go by Daryl. He'll complete the pass there into turn 3. Josh too might have been falling for an attack, or to an attack from the 67. Now all these drivers just working this racetrack. Playing nice to start this race. See Weston there in the 31 to the outside of Jordan there in the 61. These guys have all kind of lost that lead draft now. Again, when we're talking about our bottom three, right now, let's go up through. That would be Palmer in the 10. I'm sorry, not Palmer, one of our wild card drivers, but of our lock drivers, Johnston in the number 86. Johnston in the 49. And then Windrow in the 12. Your bottom three of your locked drivers. Danger of being eliminated out of this championship fight already after week number 1. A swinger down to looking to the inside of 2. Just been poking the nose down there. It's a 5-car breakaway right now at the front of the field. Working lap number 5. And everyone playing nice here to start this race. Ooh, Boyer up the track a little bit. Now 6 cars in this front fight. Feels like the field's starting to get hung up a little bit behind Viper there in the 24. Boyer getting a little antsy in that 41. That blue car is... Oh, the 24's around into this 9-10 of Tedder. First caution of the night will be out here. Field slowing down. Jamie Tedder there in the 9-10. Helps bring out that first caution of the evening. You see high above here, looks like... Oh, the 24 just got loose right in front of him. Oh, no contact there at all between those two cars. No contact at all. We got onboards, of course, with everyone. Now, see that view? It's harder to tell, ain't it? Let's go on the back of the 24. Probably still going to be difficult to tell. Oh, ho, ho. Hitboxes are a little weird with these cars. Off the nose of the 910. And this is all part of the challenge of learning a new car. Each and every week. Or each and every set of couple months. Just, I don't know if he doesn't actually make contact with him, but I'm wondering if he did make contact with him. If If you know the game, you know what I'm talking about. Ay, ay, ay. Jamie Tedder are going to have to go to the back. Everyone going to come down pit road here, save for John Wall. All led down by Josh Boyer, though. Be able to get gathered up back behind our pace car. See, top 4 all staying out here. And limited tire allotment. Shaman coming down and getting some fuel, though. We'll go back green. Coming to lap number 11 of this race. Napick coming down pit lane. Palmer also coming down this time. Careful not to take those tires here. Pace car lights are out. We'll go back green again next time by on lap number 11. See just fuel going in these cars. It'll be interesting here. Everyone's on pretty much even footing with the tires. I'm gonna try to save those tires for the time being. Now some extra fuel aboard those cars third on back. And even more fuel on board the cars all the way at the back of the field. Gonna slow them down a little bit. Extra late. But it's gonna make this race to lap 20-25 a little bit easier. I think Wall just didn't want to give up the track position, which I don't disagree with. Still makes their way down short chute. And make their way back into the restart zone. And caution. One more lap. Look for the rest of the field to catch up. Gosh, guys, making me look silly up here in the booth. Doesn't take much. All right, field comes off at turn number 4. Fans are on their feet once again, coming to lap 12 of 60. Green flag, and we're back underway here from Ontario. Weston tight on the back bumper of wall, heading down into turn 1, single file restart, going to help these drivers not get as spread out to start as they were on the initial jump. Look at that rainbow. Sizable gap between first and second starting to form here in this opening lap off the restart. Boyer already looking low, seeing if he can get around Weston. He'll dive to the inside in turn 4 and complete the pass off the corner. Weston got a little loosey-goosey there off of turn number 4. See Tom Musa there in the number 4. Also trying to get to the inside. Bino there in the 44. He's going to get loose there. Hit the apron a little bit. Ooh, going to be close to making contact off of turn 2. Scary moment for a lot of drivers there behind Bino in that 44 car, but everyone makes it through. We stay green. We stay out of trouble, more importantly. Action developing behind these guys now. Weston way up the track. You see that Steve Rubino into the outside wall there in turn 3. He's going to lose a lot of spots here as he tries to get back going. He's going to have to regain his momentum, but it's going to be too late to stay up and draft with these leaders. Ooh, Musa into the wall there off of turn 2. Or 1, excuse me. Josh Boyer starting to try to apply some pressure to the back of our leader. See the 61 and the 1 battling. Those two identically colored cars. '67 has dropped out of the race, or at least lost connection from our, let's call it our air traffic control station. Battle for third is on between Tom Musa and Dan Rubino. Rubino heating up the back bumper of Musa's Firebird. Rubino looks to be able to hold a little bit lower there on the exits of the odd-numbered corners, as Musa has seemingly dropped connection as well. And that could spell disaster for his championship hopes. So Rubino moves up into third. Josh 2 now in fourth. And Windrow, who was falling towards the back in that first run, now resides in the 5th position in the number 12. Nebelsuck working to the inside of Daryl Johnston there. Wasn't able to get it done that time. Tedder in the 910 is starting to try to make up some of the lost time and lost ground. Up front, the lead has stabilized for John Wall, about a quarter of a second to Josh Boyer. Went a little deeper into the corners there. You saw him washing up. And through one, here comes Boyer. He's making a charge this time. Coming up on green flag pit stops for these drivers that have yet to pit. The caution is out for the second time here tonight. Oh, it's Roger Nebelsuck around in turn number 3. Let's figure out what happened here for the 51. And Rich Napick right behind him down the back straightaway. Don't know if that's gonna be any contact there. And up on the 49, gonna dive to the inside. Oh, backed out of trying to make a move. Napick not quick enough to react. That's gonna apply some damage too. Race off pit road. One this time by Dan Rubino in the 44. Johnston gonna come down pit lane here. So Will Palmer in the 108. Should see the pace car lights go out. Green flag. We're back underway. Dan Rubino out in front of the field, this time coming to lap 23. Thank you, Brian. Hope those storms don't get too bad out by ya. John Wall looking for the lead here down into turn number 3. Trying to take back that top spot that he has held for the majority of this race. He does. Rubino way up the racetrack. That allows Goodman in the 31 to get to his inside. Now it's going to be a freight train to the inside of that 44. Here comes Boyer. Wheel to wheel with the 44 now. They're going to battle side by side. Tedder going to stay in 5th for the time being. Boyer up to 3rd. Rubino slides back to 4th. Loses 3 spots in the opening lap off of the restart. Nevelsek looking to the inside of Jordan. This for the 9th spot. Backs off once again. He's got Napick right behind him. Here in number 6. Don't get too many flashbacks now to that last caution. Didn't happen all that long ago. Boyer gets by Goodman for 2nd, so he returns to a familiar spot in the running order. And want to send a big thank you out to Josh's Eggs out of Dunn, North Carolina, for their sponsorship of the TMP Championship Series being presented live here on JTN. Also, a big thank you to TM Productions, the 2 presenting sponsors of the TMP Championship Series this season. Appreciate all of their support of us getting to come out and do this thing for you folks at home, and also giving these drivers a great stage to race on. Of course, every car carrying those Josh's Eggs and TM Productions stickers on the side and hoods. Really cool to see. Rubino now under attack from Windrow in the 12. Windrow going to complete the pass, and here comes Josh 2 in that 85, that pink car there below the red of Dan Rubino. Tedder in the 910 also slipping back. There's Neville second to 51. A gaggle of cars here in the back half of the top 10. There's Steve Rubino in that lighter shade of purple. Magenta, I think I called it earlier. Jordan way up the track there in turn 1. Hey, Zach. I'll lose 2-3 spots here into turn 2. And off the corner. These lead 2, though, they have gapped the rest of the field. Almost 2.5 seconds now. I already kind of noticed the pace is slowing down just a little bit on this run. These drivers know that that caution that came out last time maybe came at an inopportune time. Racing here, folks. Vascow's losing some spots there. Steve Rubino going on by Nebelshek. Also going to go on by Napik. Going to try to make it. One car in the wall. That's Windrow. I'm sorry. That's not Windrow. That is... Who is that in the wall? Dick Jordan. Viper there in the 24 going to go on by. Windrow's up here sitting in 3rd, and I'm talking about him being in the wall. My goodness. Josh 2 there in 4th, sitting pretty comfy. Big move out of line there. Johnston in the 86, looking to the inside of Goodman. Keep thinking all these drivers have their hands out the window with that left side mirror. Oh! 33 Goodman gonna go around into the outside wall off of turn number 1. Caution gonna come out for the 3rd time here tonight. He'll hit it again. Caution number 3 for the 33. 3's wild. Here's a replay. Like, he just gets off the gas, gets loose. Might have been some contact with the 49, but still trying to correct it. Ah, and just a tank slapper there for the 33 of Tom Goodman. Got caught in a Johnston sandwich. Fortunately, did not want to be the meat in it tonight. Especially down here in turn 1. It's been the trouble spot. That is a tough set of hits for the 33. But gonna give all these drivers another opportunity to come down pit road, put some fuel in the race car, probably save that last set of tires. Still too early to put those new tires on the car. We do see everyone come down the pit lane for the most part. A couple cars maybe gonna stay out here. And leading a lap nets you a bonus point, especially for these wild card drivers. That's gotta be something they're thinking about here in race number 1. Go lead yourself a lap, get yourself a bonus point. Wall wins the race off pit road. Josh 2 actually going to get out second. Boyer with a long stop. Let's see if he went ahead and took tires here. Yeah, Boyer went ahead and put the tires on. He's decided this is where he wants to go ahead and put those fresh tires on his car. Wait and see how that plays out for him and some of the other drivers maybe electing to go with that strategy. And see a lot of takers up and down pit road. But the thought has to be, you take the tires now. This thing runs green to the end, you just come down, take some fuel. That final pit stop as short as possible and try to get the advantage that way. That strategy, though, you're hoping that final pit stop doesn't come under caution like they have so far here tonight. You're hoping for a green flag cycle. These cautions have kind of come every 10 laps or so. Field will make their way off of turn number 4. That gives Rod Weston control here for the restart. Coming to lap 35 of 60. Green flag, and we're back underway here from Ontario. Good restart by Weston there in the 31. He clips the wall there in the chute. As John Wall to get to his inside, and he's going to have help behind him. And these cars on a different strategy than Weston in the 31. He's not been afraid to be someone that takes alternate strategies and goes way high there in turn 3, gets into the outside wall. He's going to lose all his positions. All the track position going to be gone for this 31. I'm screeching to a halt there. Woohoo. That gives Wall the lead back. Josh 2 in second. Jim Windrow. Josh Boyer and Roger Nebelsack facing a challenge from Rich Napick there in the 6. Steve Rubino also up in this fight. These drivers, though, they're all in a position where they will advance out of this race, so you don't want to do anything to jeopardize that, especially as we move into the second half of this one. Comes Boyer looking for third. New tires on that 41 car. So with Boyer into third and applying some pressure for second, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get by the 0 car. He hasn't been able to do so tonight on even footing and even tires. And he's got to get there first, and he's still got to get around Josh 2 for second. Position number 2. Ha ha ha. See Steve Rubino trying to crack into that 4th spot. He does. Gets by Windrow there. Goes really high. This guy's kind of pulling sliders to complete passes in turns 1 and turn 3. Time to remind you, we got these Championship Series races the next 3 weeks live right here on JTN. Same time, same place. Tune in. Next week from TM Productions Raceway, then the Trenton Fairgrounds, then the Michigan International Speedway to wrap things up. And coverage of those races all going to be live right here only on JTN, presented by SchemeHaven.com. I completely missed Boyer pitting. Apologies, folks. We got those pit stops starting now. We're in the window to make it to the end of this race. Boyer pits to try to take advantage of some clean racetrack. And all these other cars, I think, are all going to elect to go ahead and take their tires. Thanks for tuning in, Anne. Thanks for putting us on the big screen. The Steve Rubino sits there in third, and here comes John Wall down pit lane. Josh, too, also going to make a trip down pit road. Bunch of cars coming to pit road now. Here on lap 43 now inside the window. That gives the lead over to Steve Rubino in the 07. Daryl Johnston there taking over second spot from Dan Rubino. And Steve Rubino well clear of these guys with the provisional race lead. We go to try to find... There's Josh Boyer. There's John Wall. So a pretty sizable gap now for the 41 that he's been able to create. And making that shorter pit stop. Still awaiting this cycle, though, to complete itself. And here comes Steve Rubino. Ooh, gotta slow down. Gets to pit road. That'll give the lead over to Daryl Johnston in the 86. He's got a big gap back to Dan Rubino in the 44. Windrow now into third. Tom Musa into fourth. Gap between Boyer and Wall, for those wondering, is about 12 seconds this last time around. So 12-second gap between who we believe will cycle out as the leader in second place. Johnston still leading the way, still staying out. Wondering how long he's going to go. Could be hoping to catch a caution. But that strategy... I don't know if I like that strategy. And Rubino also staying out for the time being, but he's starting to fall back of Johnston. He's going to look to make it 3 wide. Bold move down into turn 3. He backs out of it. Jordan really sent it. Musa also kind of backed out of it. That's a car in the wall. Right behind the race leader. It's Weston in the 31. Musa and Jordan now side by side. Musa going to take that spot. Or at least positioning on the racetrack. Oh, we're going to get really close here with the 61. It's allowed Dan Rubino to kind of reel in Daryl Johnston, our race leader. Josh Boyer still sitting about 29 seconds back. Doug Palmer about 10 seconds back in third. Thing to note, Josh too was able to get around John Wall. There's Josh Boyer. And he is in his own zip code right now, which if you're Boyer, you gotta be loving. Now I'm hoping his spotter and crew chief, they're not telling him about all this racing that's happening back here in the field, because he doesn't need to know about it. Oh, the 61 way up the track. Oh, we got a caution. Big crash here right in front of the leaders. Musa, one of the cars involved. And that's gonna... Windrow also collected up in it. That is going to hurt the strategy of the number 41 of Josh Boyer, but let's get a replay of what happens here. Oh, the 12. His gain minimized, folks. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen that. Not like that, at least. Usually if you see something like that, it's intentional, and the guy's behind the other guy, not in front of him. Oh. Man. That was a heavy lick. Go on board with the 12 Windrow. And on board with Busa. You're going to see the 12 car just... Oh, you're not going to see anything. Ay, ay, ay. Of course, it always happens in the closing stages, folks. But you got to see a couple replays of it. You got to see a couple replays of it. Good old-fashioned NR game crash. Alright. Let's get everything reset. Get everything pulled back up for what will be a very fun 10-lap dash to the finish of this race. Drivers are already in their cars. Don't worry, folks. And get out of them. It ain't raining. It ain't raining. Josh Boyer is your new race leader. Josh 2 will be in second. John Wall will be third here for the restart. Go back green with 7 laps to go here from Ontario. Alright, so getting ready to go back green. 7 laps to go. Can Josh Boyer hold off a hungry cast of contenders, of characters that have just a little bit fresher rubber underneath them? Into the restart zone and back away we go. Green flag. And Josh Boyer is missing. Oh my goodness. Josh 2 battling side by side has the race lead as we head down into turn 1 because Boyer is MIA and disconnected. He's gone. My goodness. Battle for third. Tedder gets on by Goodman. Viper there in the 24. Also making a pass. You see that's Roger Neville second to the wall there. Through turn 3. Napick looking for 5th. Take the spot. The cars right now on the outside looking in. Tom Musa in the number 4. Dane Rubino in the 44. And Steve Rubino in the 07. They're right now your bottom 3. I'm sorry, Windrow, Musa, and Dan Rubino, your bottom 3 right now. Of those locked-in drivers to this championship fight. But 5 laps to go for Josh 2. Let's try to claim the first victory here in the TMP Championship Series from Ontario. But here comes John Wall. Wall has dominated this race so far. Looks to the inside, down into turn 1. They'll battle side by side through that first corner. Wall with the preferred line, 2 with the momentum on the outside. Neither with any immediate help, and John Wall completes the pass and retakes the lead with 4.5 laps to go down the back straightaway. And the caution's out. We got one around at the back. That looks to be Goodman. It is. He's around at the back. We're racing back to the line. Nebelsack coming off a pit road. It's going to be close if we can get back going, folks. It might be a one-lap dash. John Wall wins the race back to the line. Josh 2 there in second. Rest of the field running up behind them, but let's get a replay of what happened to Tom Goodman in the 33. Outside turn 1, gets off the gas. Anyone gonna get into him? Yep, there's contact. Bob Sire there in the 1. For Goodman, that's gonna sting. One of the drivers trying to compete for the championship. We'll get 1 to green line, but I think we're going to get a 1-lap dash instead of a green-white checkered. So if we re-rack them, the 3 that would be out right now. Windrow in the 12, Nebelsack in the 51, and Musa in the 4. Oh my goodness, some heavy hitters could be on the outside looking in at this championship. And most likely will. Unless there's a major incident here on the restart that takes out one of these other drivers, because all those 3 all laps down Windrow out of the race. Pace car comes off. 2 laps to go here from Ontario. It's going to be a mad dash to the finish. Already got one around at the back. Big crash behind them. But we're green. We're at least going to get 1 lap to go here. Top 3, though, already. Already pretty spaced out. Napick there in the 6. He's going to try to get 3rd, but really no reason for any of these championship guys to push the issue too much right now. Make our way into turn number 4. And off the corner, it'll be white flag in the air. 1 lap to go. from Ontario. And of course, this is your Death Craver 1 to go. Check out the novel by Zach Rogers, now available on Amazon. Death Craver 1 to go. John Wall has dominated this race from start to finish, qualified on pole, and now is looking to seal the deal. But Josh 2 is going to try to have something to say about it in that 85. Loses some time there off of turn 2 down the long back straightaway. He'll try to get a draft into turn 3. Into turn number 3. Short shoot into 4. It's going to be John Wall off of the final corner. And he'll dominate and take home race number 1 from Ontario here in the TMP Championship Series. And it looks to be Windrow, Musa, and Nebelsack out of the championship contention. They'll have to try to rely on a wild card berth at Michigan in 3 weeks' time. And of course, moves John Wall, race winner. Rich Napick, Steve Rubino, Viper, Goodman, Irv Johnston, Josh 2, Daryl Johnston, and Jamie Tedder into the next round of the TMP Championship Series. John Wall brings it around, and he'll get to burn it down for the fans here in Ontario. Move on to our post-race coverage. Get results on your screens here in a few moments, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN here this evening. Let's go ahead, though. Head on down and talk with the driver of the number 24, Viper. You got a copy there, buddy?
Yep, I do. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. It was a calm-ish race out there tonight. What'd you think about it?
Well, the first few laps, my teammate wrecked me. Thanks, Jamie. I really appreciate that.
What's that conversation in the shop going to be like tomorrow?
He ain't getting no paycheck tomorrow.
Okay, all right. You know what? He's got to pay for that race car, right?
Exactly.
There's a lot of damage on that thing.
And I'm surprised it came back and finished third. It's a chunk of junk.
I was going to say, we saw, I mean, maybe for some of the folks out there that aren't familiar with NR and maybe some of the way the hitboxes, because visually, we couldn't tell if he did hit you, he didn't hit you. It's just, it's one of these weird things with the way the hitboxes are on these cars, right?
Yeah, it is. These Trans Ams, Firebirds, they got that pointy nose on them, so it's kind of hard to judge with them compared to the regular stock cars and trucks.
What do you think about kind of continuing this championship fight? You get to move on pretty safely. So did that fear start to creep into your mind after that incident early on in the race?
Oh, yeah, it did, especially. I didn't know how good my car was going to be, and by myself, like, okay, it's got pretty good speed still. I have a chance if everything plays out right. And top 3, happy with that.
Well, top 3 finish. Everything plays out great for you, Viper. Congratulations on the podium. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. We know I got some great presenting sponsors here of the TMP Championship Series. Also know you got some great folks to shout out back at the shop. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yep, I'd like to thank everybody here at TMP, SMO, Josh's Eggs, myself, my teammates, everybody races here. Appreciate it. And hopefully have a good rest of the season. And you'll take it easy.
Heck yeah, Viper driver, the number 24, taking some time to talk with us after this one. Can't thank you enough for that time, man. Congratulations on moving on in the third place finish here tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Is Viper driver, the number 24, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next talk with our second place finisher, presenting sponsor of the TMP Championship Series, driver, the number 85, Josh 2. Josh, you got a copy?
Hey, I do. I got you.
Now, how many eggs do you sell in a week? Just I gotta ask the real hard hitting questions here.
Yeah. Well, right now, they barely even sit here. They are gone in a heartbeat because they're so expensive right now.
Right.
I don't even know how many I'm getting a day now because most of them are already promised out well before they're even laid. I guess I should tell the hens that, your eggs are already promised out, guys.
Well, promised out on the eggs, but nothing, of course, promised here in the TMP Racing League. How'd you come home with that second place finish?
Man, well, it was a good race for me, really the whole race. Things just worked out really well. I tried to just be consistent, and one of the things I've tried to work on is calming down and just trying to run my own deal. And, if someone got by me, I try not to let it shake me up and start making mistakes. I just tried to be consistent.
How tough is it to kind of shake those nerves? Because I think that's something that's very natural for every competitor, no matter what the sport is. That maybe when you see that person getting by you, or maybe it's someone getting around you if you're a defensive back in football, or in the case someone getting around you on the racetrack. How tough is it to kind of shake that nerve and recenter yourself and refocus on the goal at hand, which is just don't be the bottom three?
Right. I feel like it's hard for me because once one problem happens, I need like a crew chief that is like, hey, calm down. You only lost one spot. You'll be fine. And I don't know, like a few weeks ago, I almost won a race at Pocono, and I had a computer problem. I think I would have won that race. And so tonight, I was like, I don't have a ton to lose. But then once I figured out I was up in the top 5, I was like, well, gosh, I may have a shot at this thing.
That final restart, all of a sudden the 41 is gone and you're the race leader. How big of a shocker is that? And how hard was it trying to hold off that 0 who was so quick all night?
Well, he disappeared, and I thought he may come back. So I moved down to the inside because I didn't want him to reappear in my car. I was going to be aggressive on the restart, and I had planned to do everything I could do to get around him. Then he disappeared, and so my viewpoint changed. And I know John can hear this, but John is one of the best racers there is to me. And so I know he got by me and he won the race, but just it's an honor to just get to race with him. I mean, I'm very proud of my finish because I got to actually race him for that win. So second is not upsetting to me tonight. I mean, I gave it everything I had, and just being able to race with him for a win is a big improvement from where I was years ago. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, Josh, man, congratulations on the great race, great finish here tonight. A big thank you for helping be part of bringing us out to broadcast these 4 races for the championship. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity, of course, great sponsors on all of these race cars tonight. And I know you got some folks to shout out, so the floor is yours. You know what to do.
Well, I'm sure Josh's eggs got plenty of TV time today. I know that much. No, I appreciate the opportunity. And, they asked me to pick a car color, and I said, I want the brightest pink car you got. I just like the color. And again, congrats to John. And, on that final restart, I've got John in front of me, and I've got Viper behind me, another friend that is a fantastic racer. And it was a good restart because I knew I would be okay. I trust both of them, and I knew that I was going to finish, and it was going to be a pretty good finish. And so shout out to TMP and to the guys, the SMO guys that are racing here with us, like John and Viper and RC and Jamie. And I just appreciate these guys hosting the racing here at TMP. And the opportunity to run, and it was a big old field. A second, I feel like I won, and I got to race for the win, and so I'm pretty happy. So I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah, well, Josh, again, congratulations on the second place run here tonight. Again, big thank you from us, and I'm sure from all these drivers, for your support, and looking forward to the rest of this championship battle.
Yep, me too. Thank you.
Josh 2, driver of the number 85, your second place finisher here tonight from Ontario, and now down into victory lane. He's the driver of the number 0, dominates the race. Not much more to say other than that. John Wall, John, you got a copy?
I gotcha.
All right, well, how'd you kick everyone's butt titonight?
Well, it didn't come easy, believe it or not.
Why so?
Well, it was a great race. Of course, we qualified up front. That was my main thing, is I wanted to make sure I qualified up toward the front, pole, second, whatever, just because of track position. I felt like track position was going to be really important. Boyer, man, I feel so bad for him. He stayed up my tailpipe the entire race, and it's a bummer that he had that issue there on the last restart. But even before that, Josh and I were kind of working a little bit on a pit strategy to try to figure something out for the end, and I don't think, and in fact I know, we wouldn't have caught him. So it's a real bummer for him not to be in victory lane, because he probably had the right strategy.
What's going through your mind there when that green flag cycle happens and all of a sudden you see the 41 screaming down pit road before you guys, knowing that he already took his tires?
Oh, well, that's what I had in the back of my mind, is I know he's already taken his tires. I think he might have maybe grabbed 2. I'm not even sure if he did, but I knew the couple laps that he was ahead of us before we pit, he was going to have a lot of distance on us. I knew we were going to catch, we were hoping to catch the whole thing, catch all the seconds behind him, but I just the way it looked like, I don't think we were going to catch him. So he definitely played it really well.
Late race cautions always seem to put a damper on a lot of people's days, but you mentioned it there. I think it helps your campaign to get back into the lead and back to victory lane. How scary is it when the leader disappears in front of you, and then you got Josh right in front of you, and he's all of a sudden thrown into a new scenario. You're thrown into a new scenario. Now you're second instead of third. How do you manage that behind the wheel, and kind of the psychology that and the different steps that you kind of rapidly have to go through with setting yourself up for the end of the race?
Yeah, I mean, when he disappeared, it's like, oh, I'm probably next. You worry that you're the next victim of the random phantom disappearance. But of course, Josh is a teammate of mine, along with Jamie and Viper and RC. So I told Josh too. I said, hey, whatever you do with Boyer, as far as racing him for the win. I was like, I think it was like 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go. I said, but laps with 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go, I said, I'm gonna try to at least grab my shot. Let's see if we can try to work this out. But you kind of go in with a plan, but in all honesty, a lot of times those plans just go right out the window, or they just don't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with that car disappearing, now Josh is the leader. I'm in second. We're both kind of like, oh crap, what do we do? Let's keep racing. Just stay focused. Run the best line you can, and let's race it out.
Well, you race it out, get into victory lane again. Lead 42 of 60. That's a pretty dang good percentage of the laps here tonight. John, congratulations on the big dub here to kick off the TMP Championship Series. Feature win number 15 on the year. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. Of course, everyone's got great partners on the car. You got some great folks also to shout out behind the scenes. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, first and foremost, I appreciate you doing the broadcast here with the JTN. Of course, TMP for hosting this series and this championship series they got going on with the IROC cars. Of course, our host and my home league is SMO Hardcore, so they do a great job, providing the server and the technical support, I guess you could say. A great group of guys, as Viper was saying, as Josh was saying. I trust them all. I mean, I'll race every one of them the same. We race hard. Heck, Chris and I, we always seem to battle it out, and we always we've made contact a bunch of times. But you know what? We're good friends, and it's always race related. Of course, Josh and his Josh's eggs. Of course, I give him a hard time all the time with that, inside jokes, all that fun stuff. But that's a great thing. I'm glad he does that. I'm glad he enjoys it. He should be making bukus of money right now with with the shortage and everything. But appreciate his sponsorship that he does. He was talking about the coaching. Like he gets kind of, unsettled. Mm-hmm. I was telling him, I was like, listen, you're good with me. I said, do race the way you have been, run your line, just stay focused. And I told him the only reason why I got by him was because I had I think I had a little higher entry into the corner where I was able to get back on the throttle just before him and carried enough momentum to get to his inside. Otherwise, honestly, at that point, I probably was just going to end up having to stay behind him and hope that he messed up.
Well, John, in the end, you're the one parked in victory lane, man. Congratulations on the big win. Appreciate the compliments. Appreciate you taking some time out of your busy winter's schedule to come talk with us here on JTN. Best of luck here throughout the rest of the championship. Have a feeling we'll be talking with you again soon, and can't wait to watch the rest of it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's my bedtime. Got to play with the trains again tomorrow morning.
There you go. John Wall, driver of the number 0, your race winner here tonight from Ontario. Folks, that's going to wrap up our coverage here. Race 1 of the TMP Championship Series. Can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe. If you want to get in on the action, you can head on over to the TMP Racing League website down in the video description below, or else check out their Facebook page to find out more. But with all of that being said, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back of the wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop. Oh, my God.
Big wreck.
Big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard on the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
Through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall. Almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact. Turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling fashion.